This is the most beautiful deer in the Philippines. But they are also extremely rare and are at risk of disappearing forever. That's why I want to understand why their populations declined and find out what we can do about it. But to do that, we need to find them in the wild. That's why I hopped on a plane to Negros, an island with some of the highest levels of endemic species here in the Philippines. And this island is actually pretty special to me because this place opened my eyes to the importance of the natural world when I visited a protected sanctuary called Danhugan Island. Negros Island also hosts one of the most important and biodiverse wetlands in the country. So I thought to myself, if I really want to see wildlife, this is the place to be.
Alam mo, Renz, ganda talaga ng Pilipinas. As in, sobrang solid nung biodiversity natin, not just in terms of animals, but plant life. So there are over 50,000 different species of plants and animals dito sa Pilipinas, at marami sa kanila ay endemic.
So that is Sir Greg Yan. He's a wildlife photographer and award-winning journalist. And if you search the internet for photos of endangered animals in the Philippines, there's a big chance that he took that shot.
So I photographed such animals as the Philippine pangolin sa Palawan, the tamaraw sa Mindoro. We looked for rare sharks up and down the Tubataha Reefs, cetaceans sa Bahis at sa Tanyon Strait.
I grew up watching documentaries and survival series. And I was really obsessed with Jurassic Park. So taking on this project is the closest I'll get to stepping into that world.
Ang wildlife spotting or wildlife photography in general, medyo random yan. Hindi mo ma-assure na bawat expedition na imamount mo ay makakapag-come into contact with the animals that you're looking for.
So I asked his advice before going to Negros because Sir Greg, along with Earth Journalism Network, has been supporting me in my mission to find and document these animals in the wild.
For this journey, Renz, you have to do your research. You have to read as many scientific papers about the species na gusto mong puntahan. And then when you are ready, you'll have to fly down to the island of Negros. Very famous siya kasi siya ang sugarcane plantation center of this country. So it's the sweetest island.
After doing my research, I found out that many of the threatened animals in the country is in Negros Island. But what really caught my eye was the Visayan Spotted Deer. Tingin nyo ba mahirapan akong hanapin yung spotted deers?
Ang spotted deer, sa totoo lang, hindi pa nga ako nakakita ng wild spotted deer.
Okay.
Mas nakikita ko pa sila in zoos all around the world. Isa yan sa pinakamagagandang deer species sa buong mundo. At ang Visayan warty pig, they're very plucky, very cool looking kasi meron silang mohawk. Medyo colorful sila as wild pig species.
Now, the story of the Visayan Spotted Deer is actually closely related to the story of the Visayan warty pigs, the rarest pig species in the world. And they can live harmoniously in the same environment.
Medyo mahirap talaga sila. It took me 20 years to see my first wild deer in the Philippines.
Oh.
Consider yourself very, very lucky, Renz, kung makakita ka ng deer, and most especially, yung pinaka-rare pa na deer dito, which is yung Visayan Spotted Deer.
Isa kong ipapromise sa'yo, kapag nakita ko yung Visayan Spotted Deer, ipapatato ko sila dito.
Magpapatato ka.
Itatato ko siya.
Ipapagdasal natin na makita mo nga yan para magkaroon si Renzo ng tattoo dito.
So my name is Monica Atienza, and I am the veterinarian of Talarak Foundation.
Oh. By any chance, related ka ba kay Kuya Kim at Yen?
No, hindi.
Before I went to the forest, I began my journey at the Negros Forest Park in Bacolod City.
This is a conservation facility by Talarak Foundation. Sobrang amazing na makakita ng ganitong mga deer dito. Napakaganda nila tignan up close. Para kang nasa isang Disney movie. But the reason why I'm here is to really familiarize myself with the animals that we will be looking for next down south of the Negros Island in Bayawan. So meron silang forest doon and sinabi nila na merong mga Visayan Spotted Deer at saka Visayan Warty Pig. So these animals are both listed as endangered in the IUCN Red List. IUCN is the International Union for Conservation of Nature, an organization that assesses the conservation status of the species worldwide, classifying them into categories like near threatened, vulnerable, endangered, or critically endangered. So in Pokemon terms, they are like the legendary Pokemon of the Philippines. Ano yung mga threats? Bakit pakonti ng pakonti yung population nila?
So initially kasi, Negros is really forested. Around probably 80 to 90% of Negros Island is forest. We lost a lot of big trees, and then we lost a lot of forest cover. That's why during 1990s, Negros Forest and Ecological Foundation started the conservation breeding of the Visayan Spotted Deer.
So before going there, I always thought that Negros had such an abundant biodiverse environment. Pwede ko bang makita yung warty pigs dito?
Tingnan natin dito kung okay lang na anuhin mo yung camera mo from sa taas.
Minsan kasi, yung home forest ng spotted deer or yung mountain range kung saan maraming Visayan warty pig, biglang nagiging sugarcane plantation or nagiging condominium complex or nagiging resort na may swimming pool. So, nawala na yung totoo nilang bahay.
So, in reality, Negros is the opposite of having rich biodiversity. At least, not anymore. Okay, so we are currently on the way to Bayawan, and it's gonna be a very long 4-hour ride. And actually, the hard part of the journey, it's really the logistics, looking for the permits, traveling here to there. So I really hope that when I go to Bayawan, that we will be able to find the animals that we are looking for, because these animals, they really need our help to spread awareness and help the conservation efforts for them, no? Because looking at an ecosystem approach, pag nawala sila, tayo rin yung mapapahamak. And pinipep talk ko lang yung sarili ko before this 4-hour drive para ma-motivate ako sa napakalayong journey na to. Let's go. I knew that finding these animals was never a guarantee. So I started questioning if it was even worth it, diba? The 4-hour ride, the preparation, bringing all the gear. But I remembered the feeling when I found the dugong when I was swimming in Coron, or the long-tailed macaques when I was exploring the forest in Mindoro. Without taking risks, there will be no reward. So after checking into Bayawan City and driving all the way to the nature reserve, the risks just got high. So habang nagmamaneho, Hindi ko nakita may humps. Dumiretso lang ako tapos nahulog. Nahulog ang aking camera. Shit. Kakabili ko pa lang nito.
Ano yung camera mo na ano? Nalaglag?
Nalaglag kanina.
Basta yung mga nalaglag yan.
Thank you. Dito po yung office ni Sir Justine. Dito po yung pasok. Sige po, thank you. Hindi ko pa po natitignan. At that point, I finally met Sir Justine Magbanua of Talarak Foundation. So he gave me a quick tour of the headquarters and a few words of encouragement.
Because you're only staying for 3 days, no? That's really hard.
Without wasting any time, we went straight into the forest to find the Negros bleeding heart. This bird is listed as critically endangered in the IUCN Red List. Hello po, sir. So I was very skeptical that we would even find one.
Para di sila hanggang umaabot ng 9 or 10.
And surprisingly, we did find the bird, but with the help of the trackers and the devices to pinpoint its location. Although they were very quick and elusive, so I wasn't able to shoot them properly. So I'm really gonna keep my eyes wide open so I can take better shots of them. Because the next one is the main event, finding the pig and the deer. Dito tayo maghihintay ng ating mga pigs. Okay, so unfortunately, umalis na daw yung mga Visayan warty pig. Babalik tayo later, pero to increase our chances, I decided to just stay here and sleep here para we can have more flexibility and we have more time to spend dito sa forest. Tara, lipat muna tayo. Alright, so this is day 1 and sobrang daming nangyari so far. I ended up staying here dito sa Bayawan Forest Reserve ng Talarak. So umuwi muna ako and then nag-pack. So this procedure is to alleviate the risk of ASF entering the facility. So African swine fever is a highly contagious and deadly disease for the pigs with no cure or vaccine.
And it tends to be more rampant in an area if it's hot. So during summer time, doon talaga maraming cases of African swine fever. If we go in the forest, we don't know if we actually have the virus in us. So yung mga tao kasi usually yung nag-transmit ng disease.
Okay. Pwede tayong may virus pero hindi natin siya na-feel.
Yes.
And it's one of the biggest factors that could drive the pigs into extinction. So climate change with the rising temperatures and the shifting ecosystems, it creates ideal conditions for the spread of diseases and viruses by increasing the survival range of pathogens and their carriers. So going inside that forest felt a little bit like going into a Jurassic Park. And pagdating ko dito, they were fixing the trackers for one of the bleeding hearts. Isa to sa mga conservation efforts nila to really observe, study, and understand their habits and to know more about these animals.
So this place is a safe place for the animals, basically. They were all once back then found in this area. Well, they were found all throughout Negros before deforestation happened. So we're bringing them back to areas where they once belonged to.
Thank you. Bye, Blue. The funniest thing about this day is that while having dinner outside, randomly, one of the Visayan warty pigs decided to visit us.
So the rarest pig species in the world was just there, circling us around the cabin. At that time, you can tell that it's a very curious pig.
Unfortunately, hindi ko dala yung camera ko. Tomorrow, hopefully, makita natin sila up close again.
I will not miss another opportunity to shoot them, so I will keep my camera close by.
Animals are actually the rightful owners of a lot of these areas kung saan tayo ngayon nakatira. And every time that we see them in the wild where they belong, not inside a cage, pinapakita natin in the wild, kung nakita natin sila, kung anong mukha ng mundo nung maayos pa yung balance between humans and nature.
Although I'm happy to see these animals being protected here, it's also sad to know that they need this kind of protection. At this point, I'm still trying to figure out what really happened to the animals in Negros, what happened to the forests here. But one thing is certain.
And just when I thought the night was over, hey guys, this one will be a 3-part series, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one because the stakes will continue to rise as the mission to find the spotted deer continues. And you can watch it over here.